Hey guys, so today I want to do a quick little comparison here between the Galaxy S5 and the Galaxy S3. So we have the last generation versus the, it's two generations between these phones, of course. So we do have the S4, which I already compared to the Galaxy S5, but now we do have another phone here. So it's the Galaxy S3 from 2 years ago. Got it in 2012. This one is though the GTR 305N variant, which is a little bit different 4G variant. But I remember it was very, very nice to unbox the Galaxy S3 when it was new and fresh and all that. So if you take a look at these devices, if you look at them from the front side, the Galaxy S3 is definitely more rounded in terms of its design overall on the phone. And you can also see they had this little weird button which had a big place here. Looks a little bit random because Apple was suing Samsung a lot. I think that's why they made this little bit random design on the Galaxy S3. You can see here what kind of version of Android I'm running. So it's Android 4.3 that I do have a web on this device. I'm not sure if it's going to get the 4.4 KitKat updates, but the Galaxy S5 looks a little bit more like an S2, I would say, in terms of its design. And then of course the S5 has this fingerprint scanner. You can do PayPal payments and stuff like that with it. And I haven't tested it out at the moment, but I definitely will probably in the future. And then we do have, if you look at it back here, we have a dotted texture back on the Galaxy S5. And then we do have a heart rate sensor down here, which is also quite interesting. And 60 megapixel camera versus the 8 megapixel camera that you're gonna get on the Galaxy S3, which of course is gonna be a big thing there, big difference. And you can see the speaker here is located at the top, versus the Galaxy S5 where it's located at the bottom. Of course the Galaxy S5 here on the left side is water resistant and dust resistant, so you have this little flap at the bottom that you have to open and close, but it feels like quality. Close is very good, and it feels like it stays there. And that's the only thing you really have to think about in terms of water. Up here, of course, you don't have to close this one because usually you can take water inside of them. Something that we've seen on Xperia devices. In terms of display size and things like that, of course, there's a difference here as well, which I will go over. So first off, 720p display here on S3 versus 1080p full 5.1 inch display versus 4.8 inch here. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but it's not that much bigger, the Galaxy S5. So that could be good to know there, that this is really not that much bigger. Both are well above 16GB variants, and then we have a 32GB variant here on the S5. Both comes with 2GB of RAM, which is pretty interesting that they both are coming with that stuff. Both are quad core, but we get quad core 1.4 GHz here on the S5 or on the S3. With the Exynos 4412 quad chipset, which was a very nice chipset for gaming, especially older GTA games like GTA Vice City and GTA 3. The new Galaxy S5 here has the latest Snapdragon 801 chipset, quad core 2.5 GHz, quad 400 instead of just quad 1.4. Core is A9 that we do get in the S3. Different GPUs. They're doing a 330 GPU here on the S5, which runs amazing on Gameloft games, versus the Mali 400 MP4 GPU here inside of the S3, which still is a pretty good GPU for a lot of older games, but probably not as good in Gameloft games overall. You do have Yeah, a planned upgrade to Android 4 KitKat, it seems, for this device. Of course, a big thing here also will be the software, that it looks so much different. You take a look here at the app section, here where they have apps and widget pages. Here we only have the apps, and all of the apps, like internal, how they look and everything is like totally redesigned. So that will be a one big thing there. Multitasking button, we don't have a multitasking button down here. Kind of looks a little bit random with the small logo and the text there, I think. The thumbnail is good though. Here you hold, of course, on the S3, hold in there on the home button, yes, because you have a menu key here. So they remove the menu key. So now you have to do that in the software, usually in the S5. You can also see when we go down here how different it looks in terms of design, more of a like a rounded off design in this latest TouchWiz update. And this is how it looks if you want to add more. Oops. I mean, it's a big redesign overall. I do enjoy it. You can also see here how the power down menu looks. Looks a little bit more fresh here, I would say, on the Galaxy S5 compared to the Galaxy S3. And then let's see here the screen here. You can see I have a quick access here to the camera on the Galaxy S5, and the different animation here when you are unlocking it. But other than that, it's not really super big. Of course, there will be a lot of things in settings. In the settings page, you can see you can now have this cool view, which is rounded icons instead of this tab view that you do get here on the Galaxy S3. If you want to have that normal or other view here, you can also have that. Kind of reminds us about the iPhone view. I also do enjoy this thing here. You can search for something. Interesting. So you can search for different settings and stuff that you can get a quick access to, which is awesome. Different S Voice, different S Planner. It's just a lot of apps that's been upgraded, and I'm planning to make different videos covering that. You can also see here when we go into the page, see some information. Here we have 1.81 gigabytes in RAM. Here we get almost the same, 1.74, a little bit less, but not that much different on that little page. And if we would say take off the back here, it's because this is a little bit more water durable, or way more than the Galaxy. Well, and then the Galaxy S3, which is not the phone that's made for water use. It has an opening here, a little bit random at the top, but you can see the difference here, where this one doesn't have any waterproof thing, versus this one, which has this little thing that goes around. Pretty interesting here that the speaker seems to be fine with having some water inside. And you do kind of wonder if this really is safe. And you just want to make sure that you fully close it. And then we take on the back here. I definitely think that overall it's designed better, the S5 compared to the Galaxy S3, that it takes up less spacing down here at the bottom. It doesn't have this like weird shape design here on the side. It has more like straight lines, and that's definitely something that I do appreciate more. You can see the more like the flat UI look here on the icons. Here it really looks like a globe. Here it's just like flat icons. So if we would, let's say, open up the web browser here pretty quick, and just go to websites, you can kind of see already here white looks way more white here on the S5's display. They might have different color modes, which I probably will be taking a close look in the future as well, but definitely Weber white here almost looks like iPhone white here inside of the browser. The browser looks more like a Google Chrome browser now as well, so they definitely seem to be having done like a nice upgrade there. The S3 has this horrible layout here when you use new tabs. It's pretty poor, it feels a little bit slow. It's a little bit quicker here on the Galaxy S5. Still have reading mode here, of course. If we just go into an article, there we go. And I mean, when I zoom in here, I mean the display looks way different. Looks way sharper here on the brand new GS5. See if we have reading mode here. You tap up here, tap here. A little bit of a different design there. And then we can just go back here, load the previous page that I had up and running over here, and it runs different ads. This one is a little bit more also in full screen mode, where it hides your top page here. You can still see it on the GS3. So if you want to see specific videos with these devices, definitely let me know about that, but I want to make a quick little comparison look here. You can also see here how the dialer looks, which still seems to be having a lot of the same UI look here. Then of course the camera will be pretty interesting. It would be fun and interesting to compare that, because you really do have an old school layout here of the camera UI here on the Galaxy S3. Hasn't been upgraded, which is a little bit boring. You have interesting modes here on the GS5 that I might take a close look at in the future. So yeah, just quickly first preview look here on these devices. Want to compare them. Still, the Galaxy S3 is still a good phone overall, but if you want the best and you always want to upgrade, and yeah, it's pretty nice with the GS5. So yeah, quick video.